I think the blockchain is revolutionizing the industry to a large extent, and logistics will form a bigger part of the blockchain manifest that will come into the process of getting multiple nodes getting connected to the logistics from the booking to the delivery of operations. I think the enterprise needs to open up their spectrum of applications as well as their infrastructure to adopt to blockchain technology, as the intermediaries who would be performing these operations will need to make sure that unless the enterprises, the banks, the other intermediaries who are forming part of this logistics chain needs to come together for the blockchain to perform effectively. Internationally, I think for international shipment, there are companies who are doing blockchain shipments from the transactions of from the port transactions to the destination transactions. But I think from a domestic and India part of operations, I think this needs to scale up. It's at a very nascent stage, but I think it will take a few years for the enterprise to open up their applications and the intermediaries to perform these applications effectively for transshipment of goods from one destination to another. There is a massive project of Bharatmala and Sagarmala that's already envisaged by the government, and I believe that by the year 2020-2021, the waterways system will improve dramatically in terms of the shipment of goods from one destination to another. The Ganga, we have seen that from Haldia to Varanasi, there was a shipment done of almost about 100 tons of goods shipping through the waterways, and I think that's how the government is trying to build up the logistics park, intermodal transport parks all across the country. I think importantly, once the government opens up these kind of transactional points, the blockchain will form a bigger part of the requirement that will need to be contained for transshipment of goods from one destination to another. I think when you have multimodal transports of road, rail, air, as well as for waterways, I think these blockchain will form a major part of the transactions, tightening of the transactions and tightening of the payment systems and the delivery of goods happening together maybe in a single document altogether. So I think there is a longer vision for the government to make this intermodal transportation available for India, which can be absolutely be comparable to the Western world and the US as well, and which will then form a larger portion of the technology enablement at all these intermodal parks, be it blockchain, be it robotics, be it big data analytics. We knew about a lot of other machine learning and artificial intelligence coming in. I think this will form a bigger part of the technology revolution that will happen in the logistics and supply chain sector. I think everyone has to understand that while a change is always needed for the advancement of the way that it operates or the process improvement that it happens, I think there would be a scalable operations that will need to happen for every organization. The infrastructure will need to be scaled up quite massively for every organization. I think I don't want to mention that whether the cloud is a future of these kind of technologies, but I think the infrastructure scale up will need to happen at all levels, be it at the government level, or be it at the intermediary levels, or be it at the enterprise level. The infrastructure change will need to happen to accommodate these kind of challenges. As you know that today, whenever a new technology is being embarked for an enterprise as well, the infrastructure changes, the application changes does happen. So when these kind of impactful change happens on the supply chain and logistics side within India, these kind of changes are bound to happen, and infrastructure changes and the network changes are the first thing that gets impacted. I think the conference has been great. I think we had a great speakers today morning. Dr. Pulak Ghosh had been a front runner in the big data and as well as the machine learning space. I think he gave the enterprise a good view of what we should be doing and what we should not be doing. I think a great conference. We had an enjoyable time and look forward to the rest of the conferences.